So, previously, the group of you were rushing into the Pinwood in the pursuit of what you believe to be the arsonists responsible for burning Aeolus's home, whilst the group of you supped at Blackburn Keep. You rushed after footprints initially, and found a series of sigils carved into the mostly coniferous trees of the Pinwood. These sigils, however, were absent the common sap for which the Pinwood is famous, that corrodes and destroys metallic implements and quickly heals over trees, making them almost unrecognizable as previously being damaged. You followed this series of sigils, spaced every 20 to 30 feet, onto the trunks, deep into the boughs of the trees. Hours passed. In the small of the night, you heard a sound approaching the group. Snap of a twig, and you, surprised and sort of assaulted, the physician Frojen Teadance, a halfling woman from the city of Armskirk, one of the other settlements on the continent of Aquan, who, for the last approximately 10 months, has been the primary physician for Nara, the betrothed of Lander Goldworthy, who was found dead several days ago. No, discovered died upon prior to authorities arriving. You've been investigating his murder, and the appearance of his physician here in the wood is peculiar. She had been hired by Mayor Tidell, Nara's mother, who's been following what sounds like the doctor's orders and quarantining her. Nara was unwell, and Frojen seemed to have a conscience about something, and was trying to tell the group of you something. Unwilling to allow you to sleep and rest, she seemed frenzied, taking swigs from a wineskin, trying to get you to understand in words that she couldn't form. And the group of you guessed that Nara might have been pregnant, not ill. It's a small town. Rumors circulate. She was not yet married. Maybe that fits. As you came to this conclusion, Frojen had a shallow, sunken look about her face, and uttered out the words, "Not her fault," and fell over dead. The group of you, not to be disturbed by someone dying in front of you, went to sleep in your own fashions and rested for the remainder of the evening. As the sun finally broke through the boughs of the Pinwood, late morning, getting close to noon, you completed your long rest and searched around for the sigil sequence to try to return to town. This news having great merit and worthy of investigating. The sigils were gone, though, at least in one direction. The only ones that you could see were the ones emblazoned in such a way that you could only continue to follow them, seeing from one to the next. Deeper into the Pinwood. You were ill prepared for a multi-day trek here. As you followed, about an hour, you came to a cliffside familiar to Willum. Same cliffside that he had seen twice prior in his dreams. The first, a sacrificial omen, seemingly. A form in a cloak throwing an infant off the cliff. At least the form of one. The second, a sea of fire. And a word that rippled through his mind. The group of you discovered, along the cliffside, a bit below the edge, a narrow cave, almost unable to be seen from above or from the sides, and likely impossible to see from sea and passing ships. Set to this cave, there is a series of iron rings along a narrow ledge. It looks like they've been made to be able to string a rope between them, such that it would then be able to form a suitable handrail. And this is where we're picking up. A group of you standing at the edge of the cliff, about noon. The day is yours.
Can I take a closer look at the edge to see if there is any possible easy way to go down there?
Sure. Give me a perception check, please. Start us out.
Sure.
Then, you see a few
I rolled with
handholds.
disadvantage. Sorry, because I'm exhausted, right?
Ah, yes, you do have a level of exhaustion because you did not have the correct things to be able to sleep with. Still a 10. There is a decent series of handholds. It looks like. The spiked rings themselves, stay about level, what you would expect with the sea level, so to speak. So they're parallel. They don't descend nor do they ascend. But the edge of the cliff that you're at does drop away to either side. So to the west of you, which is the right as you're looking out, south, there is a lower elevation, and it looks like the rings continue on their same level until they sort of intersect with that diagonal line of the upper edge of the cliff. It's about 100 feet away from where you spotted the cave.
It's not like steps, it's more like a line of rings.
Yeah, let me grab a little freehand. So, cliff, like that. Cave is here, we'll call it, the triangle.
It's like front view now. Okay.
Yeah, and then there's eye hooks that have been hammered into the cliff face, like here, 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 and you see how it sort of intersects with the slope of the cliff. And then it looks like there's a very narrow ledge that runs underneath the eye hooks to the cliff.
Okay, now I get
that,
it.
you could, if you threaded something through the eye hooks, you'd be able to sort of lean back on it and put your feet against the ledge and then sidle along the cliffside to reach the cliff.
All right. Okay. So
and you
one
spotted this location here.
Okay.
Where they.
So one could go as first and hook or put the line rope through the line to make it easier. Okay. Got it. Right.
Yeah, you would need to.
Alright, so, I don't know, I'm pretty heavy, I'm not gonna wanna be the first, if you know. I look down, I think I'm gonna sink like a stone if I fall down there.
Siegfried will chime in that he can get to the cliff without any issue, like the cage, the cave, pardon me, but he can't put a rope along the way. But he could get to the cave.
Do we even have a rope? Does somebody bring a rope? Do I have a rope?
I have 2 full lengths of rope on me.
Oh, great. That will be enough. So, who's gonna be the first? Willum, you're pretty light, right? Do you have some magic? Maybe that could help.
No. I'm not a huge fan of heights.
Oh, great.
I'm gonna start taking off my heavy armor,
Okay.
my breastplate.
Are you leaving it on the... After you take it off, are you, like, strapping it to your back with some of the rope? Or are you leaving it on the ground?
I'm going to hand it, or I'm gonna place it on the ground,
Okay.
just for the purpose of being lighter, so I can try to thread the rope easier.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Aeolus, I knew I can count on you. I'm gonna straighten the rope from this side, alright?
That's perfectly fine.
I'll cheer you on from over here. Walks back off of the cliff's edge.
How far can we estimate? Like, is it going to need the 2 full lengths of rope?
Yeah, so from where Dunnan spotted the line of eye hooks intersecting with the downward slope of the edge of the cliff, it's about 80 to 100 feet. Probably a little bit on the generous side of 80 to 100 feet. So you'll need at least the 2 lengths of rope, yes.
All right. Then,
Like you might have enough to be able to wrap around your waist, but then you can't thread it through eye hooks.
Yeah, I'm not worried about wrapping anything around my waist at the moment. I'm gonna tie the 2 lengths of rope to each other.
Sure.
And then just hook at them, and just without a word, just start my way.
Before he leaves, I'm gonna tap him on the shoulder. Be brave, Aeolus. I know you can. And I will cast Charisma on himself, so he's not frightened.
Ooh. One sec. I think Helaras might have something to assist you. Nope, she doesn't. She changed her spells. Let me check Siegfried as well. Pardon me. Siegfried will cast Enhance Ability on you.
Oh, that's even better, so I put Refrain.
And he will give you the Acrobatics one. Cat's Grace. Dexterity. Dexterity checks, yeah. Cat's Grace.
Okay.
Awesome.
Then I won't cast Charisma, because that's much better. You got this. I believe in you, Aeolus. We are right here if you
Yes.
Okay. So Dunnan, you're holding the other end of the rope, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I suggest you hold on to that tightly, and if I fall, don't worry.
I will go. Is there like a rock where I could put down my feet in case he falls down, so I have like leverage? Or?
There are some trees about 25 feet away from the edge that you could sort of lever around behind, but that would
We
prevent
wouldn't have
him from
enough
getting
room.
all the way. But
Yeah,
he could at least get through some of the eye hooks before you had to give up on that.
We'll be fine.
Alright. Good luck, Aeolus.
Okay. And we'll Willis, I'd like you to make a dexterity check for me using your acrobatics skill.
Alrighty.
You have disadvantage because you have a level of exhaustion, advantage because enhanced ability, so straight roll. 13, pretty good. For a
High
zero
modifier,
modifier. Okay. And are you trying to thread the rope as you go?
Yes.
Okay. Very carefully, you sort of reach out and your arm span from like the edge of the cliff, which you sort of lay and shimmy down, your legs over the side, and almost like almost drop to the point where like your stomach's in your throat for that moment until you feel the tips of your toes on this ledge that's about 3 inches wide. And you can get that rope threaded through the first eye hook and you start making your way along. The ledge opens up a little bit. I mean, it's a huge percentage increase, but it still is about as narrow as a single foot. So it's difficult going. You get about a third of the way down. I need another acrobatics check, please. Keeping steady. You get through this second third of the series of eye hooks as you're making your way. And Dunnan, you can feel the rope growing tighter and tighter as Aeolus pulls more of it out towards him. You yourself are being pulled closer to the edge, slowly, because he needs the slack in the rope. At this point, you're less than 10 feet away from the edge of the cliff also.
Alright. Keep going.
Alright, Aeolus, I need one final acrobatics check. Or this last
You got it!
I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw, Aeolus. Okay. As you go to thread the last eye hook, you feel something crack underneath your feet. You have the rope through, and you go to grab the rope as opposed to the edge of the cliff, and sort of tangle around in one of your hands to try to lock yourself in, even if it hurts. And you fall. You knew you were falling as soon as you heard that crumbling stone.
I'm going to close my right hand and throw my pinky and my thumb out and.
One moment before you get to that. Let me finish describing what happened. As you start to have that falling sensation, the rope does go tight on that last eye hook, and not enough of it is threaded through to really give it the slack it needs. The one last eye hook is pulled out, and now it's just spinning on the rope. Go ahead.
All right. I close my right hand into a fist. I throw my pinky and my thumb out, and I trace a circular sigil in the air, and I will cast Featherfall.
Okay. Your momentum severely slowed as you sort of start descending, still rapidly, but you then impact, and that alleviation of weight and sudden impact jarring prevents the second eye ring from being yanked out of the stone. That you've been threaded through enough of them at this point that Dunnan, you feel the rope get tighter all of a sudden, but not to the point that you're being pulled towards the edge.
Do we see what happened?
You don't, because you're further away from the edge.
Okay.
Willum, would you have been watching?
Yeah, but from behind on it.
Okay.
Also,
I don't know.
So this is great. This is exactly what I wanted.
So I would probably start shouting, "Are you alright, Olas? The rope just got very tight. It's happened."
Yeah. Give me a moment. I'm gonna try to climb up.
Siegfried will say, do you want, like, someone to grab your hand on the last leg?
Yeah.
Siegfried will go to the top of the cliff, wild shape into a spider, and walk down the cliff face to where the cave is, and then change back into Siegfried. Alright, I need first an athletics check. You're hanging about 10 feet below the ledge here, so you need to get up to that ledge. Not a problem for you, strong as you are. It takes you a moment to sort of muscle yourself up. As you start having that upward momentum, you feel the featherfall effect fall from you, as you are no longer falling. And feel that weight sort of settle into your arms again, but it's not uncomfortable. You make it back up to the second to last ring. And now there is no ring, so there's about a 10-foot gap here from what is now the last ring to where Siegfried has his hand sort of wrenched and locked into like a crack in the rock and is reaching out to you. So I need either an acrobatics check if you're going to try to balance the way, or an athletics check if you're going to try to jump to Siegfried.
Let's go athletics.
Go for it. Siegfried also will make a check. Siegfried. You got 11 though. Alright. As you sort of jump, Siegfried grabs you, and then their hand slips for a moment, but you sort of tumble into them. I'd like you to roll me a d6, please. Thankfully, the two of you don't tumble towards the cliff and actually fall back into the crack in the stone a little bit. And as you blink bleary-eyed, the daylight from outside messing with your sight before it adjusts to the darkness within this crack, it appears to open up into a much larger, sort of sloped down from you cavern. It's about 30 feet by 50 feet, roughly. Like 30 feet deep from you, down like an embankment, like a steep hill. And then 50 feet wide. There's the smell of dampness and salt air. And at the lower edge of this area, there's a set of double stone doors with two concentric circles set into them, where like the seam is, in such a way that they look like a Venn diagram that's been turned on its head, more in a figure 8 pattern.
Jonas, you there yet?
Are you safe?
You dead?
Yes.
He's not dead.
Yes.
You dead?
Maybe.
Shit, he's dead, Willum.
That's awkward.
I'll turn to Siegfried and give him a strong pat on on his upper arm. Yeah, that's not fun. And I'll pack up and yell out. So there's a bit of a length you're gonna have to go without a rope.
Well, wouldn't be fun either way. Anyway, right?
Yeah. Spencer, I have a question.
Yeah.
I would have the the materials on me to create my mutagens,
You
right?
would, yes.
Or okay, so I create one of those after a long rest. Is that
I
how
think it's
that
after
works?
every rest, yeah. Long or
Okay.
short. Now the last bit of the rope is there. There's slack in it because there's not that last ring.
Right.
Because it's with Siegfried's like arm that was outreached a little bit, even though it didn't help a lot. You got about 12 feet from the last ring to like the edge where like there's this wide landing where the two of you tumbled into the crack in the stone.
All right. I am going to Conan,
Yes.
tie off a large knot on that end, so that if there's any tension, the rope just doesn't go through the ring.
Right. Will do.
And as they start working on that, I'm gonna rifle through my pack and prepare to quaff one of my mutagen in case something goes wrong.
How far is this cave down from the lip of the?
From the upper edge of the cliff.
Yeah.
It's about 30 feet down.
Okay. Willem will kind of edge his way over and peek down and go 1, 2, 3, and Misty step down inside.
You little fucker. Ah, great. Just leave the dwarf alone here. Ah, Moradin's voice. Alright, I'm coming.
We'll be waiting.
I feel like that's
Okay,
a decent
I have
explanation.
faith.
Like that drawing. Like there's a little bit of a landing here.
Yeah.
And then the crack. Almost like a... Yeah, that works. Okay. So, just Dunnan has to take the rope.
Yes.
Sorry, Dunnan and...
Well,
and,
Willem,
Alex, actually.
if I die here, you're gonna pay my debts at Buka. Alright? And I will start using the rope, climbing
Yes.
over.
With those words exiting Dunnan's mouth, I'm gonna consume my potency.
Okay. And that lasts for an hour, correct?
That lasts until
until
a
next
shorter
rest.
long rest.
Okay, got it. Sounds good.
What? Sorry, what role do you need?
So you can make an athletics or an acrobatics check, your choice.
Athletics.
You have the rope,
But-
which is providing you advantage.
So
it's
normal.
canceling out disadvantage.
Yeah, just fuck me over.
I'd like you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom.
Rast makes it across. Okay, Dunnan, you're going slow, and maybe what startles you is the fact that after you started, Hellerast just goes past you, puts her arms on either side of you for a moment, and then just
Show
proceeds
off!
past you along the rope. But you don't lose your nerve. Go ahead and make me another athletics or acrobatics check, your choice, please.
Ah, dwarves are not made for going beside a cliff. Athletics.
Pretty good. You make it past the second third after about 5 minutes time. It's slow going, and you're sort of testing every step with some of your weight before you actually commit to it.
I'm getting the hang of it. Last roll.
Mm-hmm. Turn 1. with a final huff, you make the final distance from the last ring all the way into the cave where Siegfried has sort of like thrown all of his weight to try to keep slack and keep tension on the last leg of the rope that can't be tied off anywhere. Aeolus, you still don't have your armor, correct?
That's right. Aeolus is going into this without armor.
Are you trying to go back and get your armor now that you have the rope strung across?
Might as well.
Okay. I'd like 3 athletics checks or acrobatics checks, so I'm assuming athletics at this point.
Yeah.
Not straight rolls. 5, 25, 18. You're good. You wear a breastplate. That's I think it's like 3 minutes to don it or something. And then 3 more checks to move back. Ooh. Not a problem. You met your DCs. Especially the last one, which was a higher one because you had lost the eye ring. Easily enough, the group of you wedge your way into this space here.
Let's agree. We are not doing this very often, please.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ah,
That was entertaining.
yeah, I had so much fun. I'm gonna need 20 ales after that. Well, what do we got here?
Well, you better pay for it, because I am not covering your debts with 20 more ales on it.
I mean, technically, he said if he died falling off the cliff.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's fair. I feel like every time we get into trouble, though, he's going to try to charge me, so I don't want my family indebted because he likes the ale, so...
As your eyes adjust to the gloom here, you see that the stone door that has the carving of concentric rings overlaid upon it, upon one another, stands slightly ajar.
Can I take a peek inside?
Sure. You have dark vision. Siegfried is going to light a torch, by the way. Siegfried can't see. And that's orange light. There we go. There you go. I've opened up the door, so you should be able to move your token through. The space before you is about a 40-foot square room with vaulted ceilings. Next to the door you have entered is a series of pegs set into the wall, several of which are empty, but upon one hand hangs a simple oil lantern, although there's no source of oil nearby, it seems. The smell of salt and damp permeates this space as well. It gives the grayish-white stone an even colder feel. As you take a few steps into the space, your footsteps can clearly be heard to echo from impacting the flagstones beneath your feet. The room itself contains little. There's a single door made of wood set into the far wall. Off to your right, an 8-foot wide passageway that travels away from you. Near the passageway is a pile of fabrics upon the ground. On the right wall, as soon as you enter, so to the south on the map, there's a collection of shattered darts, looks like, strewn across the floor.
Like throwing darts.
You need to take a closer look to tell for certain.
Oh. Come on in, guys. Nothing to be afraid of. For now.
That's fair. I just don't like heights. I'm not scared of anything else. Except my mother. And Dunnan's dead.
My dad? I don't even know my dad.
Where are the darts that are...
Yeah.
So the darts are up in this area.
Okay.
There's the door here, and the passageway here with the pile of fabrics. Right
And
about
the
there.
oil lantern was here.
Oil lantern was right next to the door.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
Before we proceed in here, I would like to point out that both Ma and Da said from their adventuring days that when you go into scary caves, caverns, and dungeons, you take everything because you don't know when it's going to be handy, and that's how you make money for your family. So, Dunnan, you're going to have to carry a lot.
Oh, boy. Do you have a bag for all that shit?
I
No.
do. I only have one.
Well, we can take it when we leave it. But for now, I'm better just take my axe and my armor.
I would like to walk over to the tarts
Sure.
and hook them over.
Give me an
See if-
investigation check.
Nice.
Nice. They look like darts. They
How
are
about pointy?
they are damaged. They look like they're made of like sharpened wood and bone. That you can tell immediately. Though most of them are shattered, their tips blunted, damaged beyond repair, essentially. These aren't like super well crafted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dunnan's gonna, wow. Aeolus is gonna hook to Dunnan. We should probably check out that door.
I'm more curious about this hallway there. What's is this?
The white stuff is nothing.
Okay. Alright. Okay.
It's a feature of the map that I found.
The door it is then.
Remember, don't just open it up. If you'd like, I can look at it.
He my guest.
Just going to investigate it in general, if that's fine.
Sure, go for it.
Gonna figure out if it's a real door.
It is made of wood. You don't see like a very complex locking mechanism on it in the first place, but the door has been swollen by the dampness in this space. It seems like you think you're not sure if it's locked, but it's not giving. It might be swollen shut. Need to be pretty kind of strong to try to yank it open, or you could try to break it down.
Bet nobody here has an axe.
Talking about an axe? Like this?
Oh,
Also
I
got
meant a wood axe. But I guess that will work.
Or I got a hammer too. Or a mace.
I'm just gonna back up.
Sure.
Yeah, it looks like we both get out of the way.
Making some attacks on the door done.
What would Dunham be able to figure out if it's better to batter it down or with the axe or the mace?
Probably the axe. Since you're introducing a point of fault. At the very least, to start with that. Go ahead and make me 2 attack rolls, please.
Yeah, I would do it two-handed with the axe.
Sure. And 2 attack rolls, 2 damage rolls. 19. Oh, nice. Good damage. The first blow, as you impact it, there's a cracking and splintering sound. Seems like the wood's not very strong, and your axe sort of sinks a good 2 inches into the door. The second one, you sort of aim at the bottom level of this crack, and you get a good solid hit, and you hear something on the inside of the door totally crack and splinter. It echoes through the space around you, a very loud sound. But whatever bar was on the inside of the door frame to sort of hold it like when the door was made, presumably, like there's a crossbar to hold all the boards in place.
Mm.
You fractured and destroyed that bar. So now all of the vertical boards that form the door are easily sort of just pushed and twisted and out of the way, and you can step through.
Well, this will certainly do it, and it will totally kick open the door. But whoever is here knows of our presence now.
As you take a glance around the area, there's a few things that you notice. There appears to be a storage space of some sort. There is a metal hook set to the inside of the door. Upon it hangs like a leather strap of a necklace and a medallion on the necklace. It looks like it's carved out of wood or stone, or maybe something similar to that. It doesn't look like it's made of metal. But the medallion has the same symbols that were on the front door. The two overlaid circles in a figure-8 pattern. And within each of the circles is a sigil carved upon it, which you do not recognize. You also see crates that have been labeled with different supplies. It looks like some of these crates might be foodstuffs, wilderness supplies, things of that sort.
Looking fresh or rotten?
They've not been cracked open. So I'm
okay.
not sure.
So they look like new boxes.
Yeah, there's not really like a thick layer of dust or mildew upon them. Willum, as you push in, you also notice one thing actually in that corner. There's a pile of axe heads, heavily pockmarked. There's no wood in the axe heads, just the heads themselves. They have been looks like disintegrated or melted by something. Like they've been heavily burned. There's huge divots taken out of them. These are totally beyond repair. Like they probably be good for scrap iron at this point.
Can I investigate those? See if I can figure out what had caused it.
That'd be a history check. Go ahead and give me a history check, please.
Okay.
Can I go closer and say, okay, just
You
go.
can also make a check then.
I would just go if I recognize the pock marks, like the
Yeah, go ahead.
the ooze on my
That's
axe.
what I was assuming as well. So
I'll go ahead and throw another history check down. It looks similar, Dunnan, but Willem, as the two of you sort of confer, you do confirm this looks like it's damage that's caused by the sap of the pinwood. Extended use. Probably beyond what most sawyers would have used an axe beyond, giving the inclination that these were not used by professional loggers or anything of that sort.
Well, then Danon would investigate the crates. And would totally do like a Kratos opening chest. Just punch it open.
Sure.
I love it.
Make an attack roll.
Unarmed?
You can use your axe. It's the same attack bonus. 11. Get a good solid hit. These are not made of the same wood as the door, nor have they been exposed to the elements for any degree of time, it seems. This is very hard wood. You hurt your hand. You take 1 point of damage.
Well, one
Everything
temporary.
all right in there?
Just some sturdy chests that believe they could withstand my might, and I punch it again.
Sure, go for it again. A little bit better. There's a bit of a splintering as you're impacting the top of this crate with your hand. Still hurts your hand a lot. And the wood of the crate's not giving totally. You heard like the of like something like maybe like a nail giving and starting to, but it's not like open.
Losing my temper here and I'm using the X now.
Sure. Go ahead.
Beat your way.
There you go. Alright, actual slashing damage. This time you aim where you had just hit with the fist and your axe sinks into it and like there's a soft impact underneath it. Now that board's broken. As you try to lift your axe out of the sort of crack where like the wood is splintered and like pinched around your axe, it's stuck for a moment, and then as you continue to lift, the whole top of the crate just comes off. Like it wasn't secured. It was just laid on top. So the whole lid of the crate is removed as you lift your axe up.
Oh, wasn't even sealed up. All for nothing. Ah, great. Well, hope there is something of worth in there.
Yeah, so contained within this one, and as you search through the others, there's a series of dried rations, including hardtack and heavily salted meat. Probably not edible in its current form, just preserved. There is a set of gear that appears to be cold weather clothing. Like that around Elderthorn, you would only need
For
if doing
winter.
extended work in like the depths of winter. Like very cold weather. There is a few sets of crossbow bolts and arrows, but no weapons to accompany them. Just the ammunition.
Well, William, can you salvage some of that food here?
I can check. It looks really salty, so we would probably have to rehydrate it. But it could make good rations.
Oh, great.
Can I
Violas,
look-
do you need arrows or bolts?
Can I look into and verify what I was saying? I'm assuming that that's how we would fix this meat and be able to use it long term.
The food?
Yeah.
Certainly. Where are you putting this? Because you don't have your backpack at the moment.
Oh, I'm not actually taking it. I was just verifying that it is something that we could recover and use.
It absolutely is. This is like go ahead and make me you're proficient with chef's tools, correct?
I am.
Go ahead and make me a chef's tools check with intelligence. To sort of nail down the timeline of how good this stuff is for. Or try to nail down the timeline.
Can I just look at intelligence check?
Yeah. Okay. Solid. Well, you're proficient with the tools. Do you not have an intelligence bonus? Correct.
I do. Sorry. So I guess it would be at 23.
23. Okay, nice. Yeah, you get your
For whatever
proficiency in there
like
on top of
cooks
it.
utensils is showing as dexterity.
If you click on gear, you can swap the query attribute, and then it'll ask you every time you roll it. If you're using a different skill.
Do you mind doing that? Because I have no idea what you mean.
So when you hover over it on your character sheet, you'll see like a little gear icon.
Yeah.
And then attribute on where it says dexterity. If you click on it, you can change it to query attribute or query.
Oh, cool. Yep,
And then click on the gear again to close the editing feature. And now try clicking on it, and it should ask you which attribute you want to use.
Oh, nice.
As you sort of take a look, Willem, these rations, they're not very old. Maybe 2 months old at most. And this type of preservation, these are probably good for a year to 2 years, depending on the environment that they're in. In this space here, behind a door that was basically swollen shut, probably 2 years of good storage. There's a decent bit of food here too.
I'll tell
I used to
everybody
think.
the timeline, how long
not-
they've probably been down here.
Yeah, not enough to like sustain somebody for 2 years. Like that's just the shelf life for these things. Based on the number of crates and the food, probably about a month's worth of food for 6 people.
Somebody planned for a longer stay then. Must like be a hideout. Or? And what's that pendant there? You recognize it? Willum? I'll point to the necklace you pointed out, the wooden one.
Sorry, can you say that again? I missed it. I apologize.
I think it's probably the wooden necklace on the wall.
Yeah, it's on the wall with the circles you said, intertwined.
And the two
Yeah, I would.
the concentric circles, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You,
Yeah.
you recognize it from your dream, or?
I don't remember it personally.
You do not
but
recognize
I
this sort of Venn diagram figure 8 pattern from the dream.
Okay.
Each of the 2 circles that are overlaid on each other slightly do have a sigil within them. You do recognize the sigils. They're ones that you've copied into your book in the last day.
I will pass it on. I would probably also take down the necklace and basically put it in my book as if it were a bookmark
Okay.
where the sigils were written.
Noted. Okay.
Sorry, my headset just spaced out.
Oh, good.
Well, seems like there is all to it. Should we bring the pendant? Maybe it's used for something, needed for something?
Well, at the moment, it seems like there's only one way in and one way out. So maybe we come back for anything that isn't absolutely necessary.
This would probably also be a good place to rest if we needed to. Of course, once we investigate the rest.
Don't tell me you're already tired again. We just slept.
Oh, no, I'm not tired, but, it would be a good place before we have to climb back up. Or you have to climb back up.
That is true. You read the shit out. I'm gonna remember that.
You're not the only one that has to use rope.
Well, at least you got some fancy tricks for not falling down.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
You just shrug.
Yeah, Eolus?
The pieces of cloth that are on the floor, are they ragged, old, recent?
Yeah, just go over and take a look at them.
Yep.
You step up to here. You do see at the far end of the hallway there's a set of double doors. As you sort of pick up some of the cloth, they're damp. They appear to be traveling cloaks. They're heavy linens, with like a wax canvas, exterior liner, like lined on the inside for warmth and the exterior for waterproofing. But they're damp. It's piles of dark, damp clothes. Oh, cloaks, pardon me.
Do they look really well made?
They look decently made. They don't match a lot of the supplies that, like the cold weather gear that's on the inside of the storage room. Like these would be more 3-season gear, like spring, summer, fall. But like they're decently well made.
Does it look like stuff that 2 half-elves would have grabbed?
They are sized for medium characters.
Aeolus starts walking towards the double doors. Just let me know when to stop if I need to.
Yeah, you're fine. Walk to the double doors.
I am going to. I saw Willum look over the doors. I'm just gonna look over the door and see if there's any of these sigils on it
On the
or
door?
around it. Yeah,
Or around the frame?
yeah.
Sure. Go ahead and give me an investigation check. Please. Doesn't appear to be. You test the sort of handle on the door. You don't see any type of lock on it. Door jiggles a little bit. It looks like it's unlocked. It does open inwards.
Alright, Aeolus is gonna hook to everyone, and he's gonna open the door.
I'm gonna help him with the other side. So
Alright,
push it open on
doors
both sides. Yeah.
swung inwards. Okay. Looking into the room, from where you're standing on the exterior, with Siegfried's gonna step forward to try to shed some extra light in there as well. The interior of the room looks like a sort of square room. You see another set of double doors, a few more crates off to one corner. The smell here is no longer salty. It's got a sort of a vinegary smell to this room. And you notice as you've gotten closer, this very sharp vinegar smell sort of permeates the space, and as you open the doors and like cause that sort of rush of air, it sort of wafts around you, and you really get a good smell of it. There are no torches or candles in this room from what you see. The only light source is Siegfried's torch.
Okay. Not caring about the crates, Aeolus is gonna make his way.
One moment. Two things happen. Willum, as you push past your companions, set into the frame where the door was standing, a arcane sigil glows when the two of you cross the threshold, and a deep voice rings out. Silha in gift nirala totepcha aftron.
Now what now?
Would we recognize the language?
You do not.
Nah, it's a little creepy.
I do need all of you to roll into initiative, though. As this deep voice booms through the space, there's a sucking sound, and dropping from the ceiling, a cube of semi-translucent jelly drops and quivers for a moment, and then starts moving towards the group of you at a very slow pace.
We're gonna TPK, guys, and half the group's not even here.
Alright. Initiative for her. Initiative for Siegfried. Descending. That means that cube gets a 16. Because you guys beat it in initiative. Dunnan. Top of the order.
I wouldn't recognize it, right? So, go. Since when it does pudding attack, and it would circle around. Anyway, must be killable. Do I get advantage when I flank with Willum?
Yeah.
Because that was totally. And he would slash it with his axe.
Sure, go for it. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
12.
12 hits.
And I always wanted to do. I'm gonna dump in Divine Smite.
Ooh, nice.
First level. So
Go for
it's
it. It's
2d8.
Yep. And the extra 10 points of radiant damage.
Oh.
As your axe sort of passes through the space, there's like a slick, suctioning sound. As it sort of slides through, leaving a trail behind it of radiant light that sort of illuminates and flashes through the cube for a moment, coating the walls in this strange greenish yellow glow before it collapses back in on itself. That is total of...
Just was rolling for advantage, sorry, because I was flanking.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 17 points of damage. Pretty good. Alright. Anything else done?
Does it just slash through or
It took damage.
get stuck?
No, it's not stuck or anything. Pass through. But that's it.
Right. Seems to be hittable. Don't be afraid. Just hit it until it's a pile of mush. That's it.
Okay. It's going to start by... It's sort of shifts and quivers in the spot, and then it slowly shifts towards you, Dunnan. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Sorry, was I supposed to be making the picks?
No,
I didn't.
just
Didn't catch it. Okay.
Dunnan, 11.
Having
As
voice connection issues.
Oh, good. No worries. So as you finish this slash, Dunnan, you're a little bit off balance. And as this sort of cube of jelly sort of moves towards you, you can't get out of the way in time. You are engulfed as it sort of oozes around you. I need you to first...
Trying to eat me!
8 points of acid damage.
Ow.
You also cannot breathe, and you are restrained.
8 points, you said?
8 points, correct. Yeah.
I have Armor of Agassiz on. Does it take the ice damage?
Armor lag, this only lasts an hour.
Yeah, I cast it when we went in.
When you went into here?
The cave.
Or, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Gotcha. So it does take some damage, as well. So that's, what is it, 5 cold?
5 cold, yeah.
Okay, takes the cold damage, as some of it gets fractured, and sort of crystallized and shattered, and like falls to the ground. And you take the 5 temporary off, and then take 3 acid on top of that.
Yep. Did that.
And you can try to escape by making an action, using your action to make a strength check. So
Alright.
to get out.
Okay.
So that's the cube's turn. Aeolus.
Aeolus is going to rush back to Hellerast, grab his great spear off her, and go, turns out I need this. And is going to run back to the cube.
Sure.
With my 35 feet of movement, I am going to slash at the cube.
Sure.
And try to get done and out.
Those are 2 different things. So you're trying to help Dunn and get out, or are you trying to attack the cube?
I'm gonna work on taking the cube. Done and strong.
Sure. Okay. Go ahead. Ooh, that hits.
Why am I rolling with bless? I shouldn't be rolling with bless.
I don't know. As you sort of jab with the spear and sort of twist it in the spot, yanking it out, you get it like a good, like, chunk of the sort of jelly that comes with it. Oddly enough, that's also cube shaped. It seems to only make cube shapes, which you sort of shake off the spear for a moment, leaving the sort of like cube shaped hole in the side of it. Yeah, 8 points, solid. Anything else?
That is it.
No? Okay. That'll bring us to Willum.
Willum probably would have started panting at the beginning of the battle. Would step back. You cannot eat. Why? We are not your. And then start to mutter the incantation for a spell, and we'll cast Chaos Bolt at it.
Ooh, nice.
Sorry, I don't know why I hit it twice.
Okay. 12 hits, no worries. Go ahead and roll me 2d8s and a d6 for damage. Alright, 9 points of damage of either acid or force. Which would you choose?
Definitely force. I'm going to throw acid at an acid cube. I mean, I'm assuming
No.
figure that out.
So this sort of impact into the side of it, like, sort of causes it to quiver like a jiggler, ricocheting back and forth, dissipating the energy. Good damage. Alright, anything else, Willem?
No, just getting back in the corner. Then panting's doesn't look like I'm having a panic attack, rather trying to fight off whatever weird state I go into.
Alright. Hellerast's turn. She will rush forwards, and thinking that it's probably slow, she's gonna aim a fairy fire on it. Which it does not succeed on. Why is the sheet not on Whisper? There we go. Yeah, no. Totally fails the dex save. So the cube is now outlined with fairy fire. She aimed it to not hit you, Aeolus. You're good.
I thought
It's a
fairy
cube.
fire is any creature in the area. Oh, okay. I did not see that there.
Yep. So let me mark the cube for that, and that'll bring us around to Siegfried. Cube, we'll call the radioactive symbol fairy fired. She's concentrating, and she'll move north to avoid Willem. Siegfried is going to go here, staying a little bit further back. And Siegfried will spend his once a day freebie guiding bolt. Oh, sorry, no. He'll use one of his star map guiding bolts. With advantage, just to see if he crits. Does not crit. But still pretty darn good. For 11 points of radiant damage. All the advantage on top of that. That brings us around to Dunnan.
Dunnan would struggle and would try to fight out. So, what do you need?
Athletics check, please, yes.
Disadvantage, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
You got this.
You do successfully escape from it. You can go ahead and move yourself 5 feet out of its space.
you're the most disgusting pudding I've ever tasted.
As you do escape, you do take some damage, though.
Why would you eat it?
as he comes out.
Alright. Start of each of... Oh, nope. Never mind. My mistake. You don't take any damage. You take the additional damage at the start of the cube's turn, not start of your turn. My mistake.
And that was my action, I think.
So that's your action to get out, and then with your bosun, so you do have movement as well.
How can I flank with Aeolus?
Moving down 1 square.
1 square. Okay, so it.
Alright.
Don't get eaten by it. It's disgusting. That's it.
Alright. Brings us to the ooze's turn. As the jelly turn... So, it doesn't really turn. Its attention turns to you, Aeolus, since you're the one that targeted it with a spear. It sort of shoots out this like square-like appendage out of nowhere and tries to strike you with a pseudopod. Ooh, 22 to hit you.
Yeah, that hits.
10 points of acid damage, please. And then that brings us around to... Did I delete my turn order thing? I did. My mistake. Aeolus's turn.
Alright. As a... No, what? No, we'll save that. I'm just gonna strike it.
Sure. Yeah, 22 hits. You have advantage because it's fairy fired and you're flanking it. 9 points of piercing damage. No action or no bonus.
No, not yet.
Okay, 9 points. You can see the cube's quivering, and you're taking more and more of these like little chunks out of it, and it looks like it's starting to lose structural integrity. That brings us around to Willum.
Willum is trying to get a grasp. Would have seen Dunn come out like, Dunn was not eaten. He's okay. Would reach in his pocket, probably using his bonus action to do this, and pull out some pocket cheese. Would nibble on it. It's okay. It's okay. We've got this. And then repeat what I did last time.
Another cast bolt? Sure. 15 hits. You have advantage because it's fairy fired.
I'm just gonna roll a d20.
Roll that crit.
Bloop.
Nope. Alright, and damage. If you just click on the word cast bolt in chat, I think it'll do damage automatically. Nope.
Sorry.
7, 4. So that's
Oh, just-
psychic or force.
Definitely force again.
Alright, and d6. So we got 13 points of damage. Force. You see the sort of jello jiggler of its form sort of rocking wildly as it's trying to maintain whatever surface tension keeps it together. That'll bring us around to Elrast. And where's her stat block? There we go. She will try a misfortune upon it. Hoo-hoo! Not a lot of damage. Wisdom save. It does fail, and it takes 1 point of damage. And it has disadvantage on its next attack roll. Siegfried. The game does not want to cooperate with me right now. Doesn't want to spend his other one. He'll try a frostbite. Oh no, he has produce flame. He can use that for an attack roll because he has advantage with that. 13 hits. Well, good news, the people who are not here aren't doing a lot of damage.
Nibbling it down.
Yeah. 2 points of damage over 2 turns. They're quite comfortable where they are, farther away. Helleras will move further into the corner as we come around to Dun.
Trying to hit it with the axe.
Sure, advantage.
Ah, okay.
Ooh, 23 hits. Yeah, 12 points of slashing damage. How do you want to do this?
Well, he would just raise the axe over his head. That's what you get for trying to eat me, and just slash it in half in the middle, from top to bottom. Big jump.
Nice. Sort of see a little outcropping of stone next to you. You throw your foot against that to try to get the height. You bring the axe down two-handed over top of it, or one-handed, trying to keep your balance. And that's final impact above where all of the little chunks have been taken out by Willum and Iolus is enough to sort of break the tension in two, and it sort of falls over sideways, like a cake that's been split in half and is too heavy up top, and just sort of collapses to either side. And as the two sides impact, the interior just gushes. And there's this thick vinegary smell that sort of dissipates up into the room as it just splashes out harmlessly, very, very thin upon the ground.
Well, somebody's heavily trying to protect their secrets, it seems. What's
Yeah. This is definitely something that's not natural.
You can get out of your corner, Willem. It's dead.
Oh, yeah, of course. I was just staying away from where I didn't want to get eaten.
I would like to look over the creature to see if I've ever heard of anything like this.
Give me a survival check. You would have advantage as a straight roll. Pretty good. You've never encountered them previously on your own, but you know what this is. This is a gelatinous cube. It's a member of an ooze family. Generally, these things are created and are particularly dangerous for someone who's caught unaware of them. There's stories of people walking down corridors and walking directly into them because they did not see them. Very dangerous.
I don't think I ever want to encounter another one, but I've heard stories of these things.
I'm pretty sure they were not pleasant stories.
Yeah.
It was very unpleasant. Ugh.
I don't have any of my shit on me. I can't take samples.
Oh, I don't think you want a sample of that one. Nevertheless, let us move on.
We'll walk around. Is there any remains or anything within the cube?
There's not.
Okay.
There's no bones, no former bodies, or anything of that sort.
Alright, just walk over and investigate and or open the door.
Sure. Go ahead and give me an investigation check. Door is not trapped, not locked. And as you sort of swing it inwards towards you, seems like both of the sets of doors swung into this room. You see a staircase that descends away from you quite sharply, almost like a 60-degree angle, and then curves around to the left.
Before we step through, let me look for any more of those sigils.
Yeah, no, we don't want any more creepy voices.
Yeah, that's going to be added to my nightmare.
Can I probably do an Arcana check, I'm assuming?
Yeah, give me an Arcana check to see if anything around you sort of screams magic.
Sorry, disadvantage. Let me toss another one in.
10.
Okay. You do not see anything around you that screams magic.
We good, Willum?
I didn't see anything, but I'm feeling a little shaky still, so
Well,
there's something. I would continue nibbling that cheese.
we're gonna find out pretty soon. Alright?
Anybody
Yeah.
want some pocket cheese before we go on? I stole it from our dinner.
Maybe later. Siegfried, could you bring over this torch? We need some light.
He does. And before you guys proceed downwards, let's go ahead and take our mid-session break here.
Okay.
Woot woot.
So let's call it about 6-7 minutes. Back on 35.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
See you in a
sounds
bit.
good. Getting back into it all. The door is open. It does not appear to be any arcane sigils there, Willum.
Well, after Willem's confirmation, I just step through, go down, start going down.
As you step through, nothing happens.
Oh. You were right, Willem!
Yeah. Good. I'm good. Ready? Yep.
Good job! Well, then let's proceed onwards.
You descend about 15 to 20 feet over this distance. Quite a steep descent as you take this sort of curved, like half-curved staircase downwards. And then the passageway curves around from you. You can feel a noticeable change in the temperature of the area around you, though. The stone all appears to be made of this same sort of gray limestone. But it is noticeably cooler down this way, and the scent of vinegar has disappeared. Yeah, ignore the white marks. They are carryover from the map that I found. As you round this sort of half corner here, group of you, you notice ahead of you there is a single door, not a double door, but a single door on your left, about 10 feet ahead of you, Dunnan. And then beyond that, there's a T intersection. The main corridor through which you travel, that's 10 feet wide, continues onwards to another single door on the left-hand side, about 20 feet beyond the first one, and then a double door that terminates the hallway. And then off to your right, there's a single corridor about 5 feet wide that proceeds some degree in that direction. It is narrower than the one that you're currently on, though.
I would try to open the door on the left.
The door on the left is unlocked. As you attempt to open it, it swings inwards. And you see a room about 20 feet by 30, 35 feet square. There's a lot of mud upon the ground here. Dry dirt. It's not like wet mud. It looks like it's a popular area that you sort of people maybe walk around in. Although you do not see any boxes or crates in this space. Willem, you're moving up to look down the narrow hallway?
No, I was just getting on the other side of the door from.
Oh, from
Aeolus.
where Aeolus is. Got it.
Yeah.
Willem, as you step to that space, there's a few things that happen. You feel a sudden falling sensation, as it feels like you sort of hyperextended your leg, like you thought there was another step at the top of a staircase, as the floor gives out a few inches underfoot. And the pressure plate that you stepped on stops with a thunk, and there's several turning gears that can be heard from under the stone. From your side, down the narrow hallway, you hear the sounds of wood hitting stone. As you glance around and look, you see the single doors that you see along that edge have fallen down into the hallway and are sort of blocking it up a little bit.
I guess we should watch where we step to.
And would carefully step here instead.
Oh. Okay. Aeolus, what do you do when he says that?
Aeolus will just turn to Willem, seeing as this is the second thing that he has triggered in the last 5-10 minutes. Perhaps you should be just a little bit more careful.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I meant.
Well, Dunham, what do you do?
I'm just
Let's-
gonna move up and investigate the pressure plate.
Well, we can come to that in a moment. You did something. Dunham, what are you doing?
Make space for us to come in.
Okay, sounds good. The group of you are rolling into initiative, that's why.
Okay.
Ah,
As the clattering of doors crashes downwards, you hear the sounds of growling, throaty, and shambling steps coming from the narrow hallway. Siegfried and Hillerest. And there we go. And let me adjust my initiative tracker.
Delete it again.
Top of the order, Aeolus. As you step forward to investigate, you see the shambling form of a rotting corpse getting closer.
we have some company. And-
Again.
Yeah, and it's of the Danish kind. And
Oh,
Aeolus
my
is going
favorites.
to step forward and is going to usher everyone to get into the room as he prepares an attack action and will
Excuse me.
bonus action will use Blood Curse of the Binding.
Blood Curse of the Binding? Noted. Okay. Strength check. Are you going to amplify it?
Yes.
Okay. Can't use reactions till the end. Nice. So I'm assuming that's the one in the hallway there.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to hold my action.
That is an
Engaged.
8. I do not think that succeeds.
It does not. Woohoo!
Nice.
And hold my action in case it comes closer or something else is in here.
So that's amplified. So it has a duration on it, correct?
Yeah, the curse lasts for 1 minute, but it can repeat its saving throw at the end of each turn.
Perfect. Put a net on for that. And I'm just going to add binding to initiative so we can track it. Okay. And then that'll bring us to... That's a bonus action. Doing anything with the action?
I am holding it
Holding an attack.
for an attack, yeah.
No, okay. That'll bring us to Willum. As you were here, Willum, what are you doing?
You know, I think I will step back here and prepare also held action for Grasp of the Void for anyone that comes around the corner.
Grasp Void? Nice. I like it. Okay. That'll bring us to Siegfried and Hellerast, respectively. Siegfried will spend his... Oh man, I don't want to burn all of his own resources, but... He's not going to use it yet. He's going to follow after your guys' footsteps. And he's going to hold a... frostbite. Helarast is going to hold a misfortune. And that brings us to the zombies. Their movement speed is slow. So one's at 0. So 5, 10, 15, 20. There's a held action. 5, 10, 15, 20. 5. And you've clogged up the hallway. With that very timely blood curse. Alright, so Aeolus, you have that, and then I need the spell from you as well, Willum, when you have a moment. Okay, 9 does hit the zombie, actually. And then so
Oh, thank the gods.
a wisdom, a con save, and a dex save. How many saves can you impress upon these things? Alright, passes Helarast's wisdom save. Fails the other 2. So 10 points of necrotic damage. 9 points of piercing damage. 4 points of cold damage. The one is pretty nasty. Has to make undead fortitude check. Does not succeed. The one, as it sort of tumbles into the area, just gets hit by this volley of blows. And that is more than enough to take it down. And then I'll make one. It's a con save for the blood curse, correct?
Yes.
Okay. The one does shake off the blood curse. Actually rolled a 17 on that check. On a save.
Nice.
So, binding has ended. But that brings us to Dunnan. Tail end this time.
Yeah, he would just get out and assert the situation. Yeah. Where this ugly undead?
Open your ears, you'll be able to hear them.
One around the corner. I'd probably get in the way of them
Sure.
and just hack away.
Okay. First attack. Hits. Yeah. Their AC is 8. You guys are adept enough that I don't mind telling you guys the AC. You have a very good chance of hitting them. That is 7 points of damage. Solid. Would you like to smite?
No, saving that.
Sure. Look at all of them.
Yes.
7 points onto that one in the front. Okay. Anything else done?
Sorry, I was muted. I said there will be plenty of opportunities for me as I see the head count of the zombies.
Don't have that many smites?
No!
Talking about it's a conga line.
Aeolus. What do it be?
Aeolus is just gonna get to here and is going to try to strike with the Great Spear.
Okay. Go ahead. They do have partial cover attacking around that angle. So plus 2
Yep.
AC. So 10. Still hits, no problem. Easy enough to get a stab around the corner. It's 11 points of damage. Alright. Brings us to Willum.
Well, then it's just going to do the same thing on the next one in line. With less damage, of course.
Okay. That is a 14 dex save. They can, in theory, pass this. They can't pass it, though. That is 4 points of necrotic damage. That's going to force an undead fortitude check. Come on, roll my con save, please. Thank you. It does pass. So that thing looks like it should be falling apart, but it is still holding on. Bear with me for one moment. That's my spell effects. This will bring us to Siegfried, unless you have anything else, Willem.
That's it.
Okay. Gets to there this round. Siegfried's going to call out to the group of you. Hey, there's smoke. It's green. It's coming down behind us. Is that something to worry about? And try to get past the group of you. Into here. And Siegfried will throw a Produce Flame. 15 hits. Is Siegfried not on auto roll damage? Auto roll. There we go. 6 points of fire, forcing another fortitude check. Passes it with a 20. Brings us to Hellerast, who will push up to here. And attempt a misfortune. Wow. She can't roll more than 1 damage.
Yeah. Wow.
Fails to save. Passes the fortitude, though. That thing's still going. As this line of zombies is just trying to shamble forward, they're pushing. Dunnan, I need you to roll me an athletics check with disadvantage.
Okay.
Because of that exhaustion sort of sapping your strength a little bit from earlier, and the hard night that you had, this wave of undead that's pushing forward, that's come out of these like small little crypt rooms, you think, it's too much weight for you to hold back, and you've been shoved back.
Zombie centipede.
Yep. And they start filing into the space. So first one made its attacks in the shove. So this one has there. Aeolus, you have an opportunity attack if you'd like to make one. Uh, 10 hits, 7 points to the north one by Hellerast, as they're just sort of spilling out and flowing out of this space. So the 3 of them can make attacks now. One on Hellerast, 22 hits her. She takes 5 points of slam damage. One on Dunnan, 21 to hit you, 2 points of damage.
Reduced by 3, so 1.
1. Yep. And
I
then
remember
1
that.
to you, Aeolus, with partial cover, so you have +2 to your AC. That's a 20 to hit. Wow, they roll great.
No hits.
4 points of bludgeoning damage. As these things just flow forwards as we come around to Dunnan.
There are too many. Get through the double door to the north. You two Erlos, don't try to play the hero. And we will try to make the one to the south hit it to let it collapse. Hopefully take it out. Okay.
Okay. One of the
I'm
south. Yeah.
I'm gonna smite that one, so
Gonna
it's
smite it?
dead.
Yep.
Yeah, so the Willum can pass through without any hassle.
Sounds good.
It's
Mark on
undead,
spell
so
slot.
it's 3d8, right?
Yep. You hit. He was on undead fortitude checks, and that's radiant damage. So he's just done.
Yeah.
No save.
To be sure.
You see the radiant's pretty effective against them. In breaking down what should be broken down.
Oh, Willem, go around through that room.
And this should be here.
And I'll just hold my ground.
Alright. Brings us to Aeolus.
From where I'm standing, do I see the smoke that Siegfried was talking about?
You do now. It's creeping along the ground at about a height of like 18 inches or so. It seems very dense and very opaque.
Okay.
Under that, it's got like this strange greenish hue. But you got the hue as Siegfried, still with the torch aloft, pushed past the group of you try to get into this room. He would have actually, he had a little bit more movement. He's not going to block the door. But now that you're relying on your dark vision once again, it's just creeping along the ground. It's dark against the stone.
Okay. Aeolus is going to yell out for Willum and Hellerest to try for the double doors, because the room with mud just doesn't seem right. And I'm going to reach my hand out to this undead skull and shock and grasp it.
Ooh, nice. Go for it. The one directly above you?
Yep.
Sure.
Shit!
Oh,
The
7.
first one that misses!
Just misses! It sort of shocks and looks like the creature sort of enjoys your electroshock therapy for a moment. Anything else, Aeolus?
That is a little frightening. Aeolus is just gonna hold here until Willem gets through.
Round of Willem.
Alright. So, I'm going to have to open this door. Will that take any of my movement, action, bonus action?
Item interacts to open up that door.
Okay. So, it should take me... Oh, I don't know why I actually went through the door.
15, 20,
Yeah.
25. 25 gets you to the door on the
So
inside.
30 would get me here, right?
But yeah, by going through and opening the inside from the inside.
So I will step
There's
through.
the dynamic lighting as you swing it inwards towards the mudroom. And now both sides of the door are open.
And then, again, looking somewhat, not panicky, but like I'm building towards something, I will draw forth a shadow sickle rather than a blade.
Nice.
And we'll target this one right next to me.
You spend a lot of time around the numbers, them doing family farm work. You've seen sickles before. You pull out this sort of ethereal, dark sickle, making a slash towards its outstretched arm as it reaches towards you. Go ahead.
How do I roll it to use it?
So you need a custom attack on your sheet. So it's uses your spell attack bonus, correct? Or no, it's a finesse, so it uses your dex bonus. Yeah. All right. Shadow Blade, dex. It has a throne, right?
Yep, it's 2060.
2d8 plus dex, psychic damage. Correct. In addition, when you use sword attack, dim light your darkness. Yep. Alright, so there you go. And you do have advantage on the roll. I'm gonna move it above your cantrips in your stat block on the center page. There you go. 21 hits, yeah. Go for damage. Just click on the name Shadowblade.
Yeah, I see it now, sorry.
been a while since you played the melee character.
Yep. There we go.
Ooh, 13 points of psychic
Holy
damage.
shit!
Great damage. As the blade sort of passes through, you see one of the creature's eyes in its socket just sort of pop like a jelly bean. A lot like the gelatinous cube from the previous area. Creature doesn't seem to notice that its eye popped. It's just sort of like reaching out towards you still. Definitely dealt damage there. Anything else, Willum? I believe that's everything, right?
That would be it.
Alright, brings us to Siegfried. Mark down that you're concentrating, though. Siegfried. Does it always move back off that? He's gonna recognize people are in shit shape. He's gonna spend his wild shape, and he is going to take the chalice form. He's just gonna step forward to here. Come on, Aeolus, we gotta get away. And he's going to spend first level spell slot on Cure Wounds on you, Aeolus. So 7 plus his chalice healing of 9. So you pick up 16 there, Aeolus.
Holy shit! Yeah, thanks.
Alright, now go! And he's gonna follow Willum's advice. That brings us to Hellerast, who's gonna take the disengage action. And push up to the door based on the party's advice. And she's going to throw open the doors, or the door in front of her, pardon me. And cry out, "Looks like a sleeping quarters." She spent 20, 30 feet of movement to get inside. Bring us to the zombies. If I could stop closing stat blocks as I use them, that would help. They continue to spill forth. Dunnan, you have an opportunity attack if you'd like to make one.
Of course.
I would also like to strike the one that ran away from me.
Alright. Go for it. Both hit. Alright, Dunnan, you get to force an undead fortitude check with that. And you dealt 8 points of damage, 5. So DC's 13, it got a 9. So the one that went to try to flank Willum is destroyed by that blow. And then 11, that was the one that went to the other side of Dunnan. Does hit 8 points of damage, but that one was, quote, fresh as zombies can be. So, does not force the save, but still damage. Speaking of, we're going to attacks. So firstly, 2 attacks on Dunnan as they try to start swarming around him at advantage. An 11 and a 22 to hit you.
22 hits.
3 points of bludgeoning, but you have heavy armor
1.
master, correct?
Yes.
Alright, reduced to 1 minimum. 1 attack on Willum. 9 to hit you.
Not so much.
Alright. And then 2 attacks on Aeolus. First one is regular, second one you have partial cover.
Joke.
First one is a 21 to hit you.
Hits.
Alright, 6 points of bludgeoning damage. Second one is a 17 to hit you.
Hits.
Even with partial cover?
Oh, nope, yep.
Plus 2.
Misses. So
Misses.
18.
Nice. Oh, there you go. Alright, so just the 6 points to you, then. And that takes care of their turn. Brings us around to Dunnan.
Since he's being swarmed, he's trying... Alright. Got to go through this door. And he's trying to... Can I push that one out of the way, so even if Willem is right next to it?
The one to the north of you?
This one, yeah. Or can I shove this
You
one?
can try to shove the other one, but it would be
Yeah,
back.
whichever, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
It's
it
an
replaces your
athletics, right?
attack roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, athletics check. Disadvantage for you.
Ah, shit. That's a shitty roll anyway.
Roll high, roll high, roll high.
Of course.
Hey, hi. That's a success. It gets shoved back 5 feet, and you can step
Okay.
into that space.
Yeah, I will definitely do that.
One of them does get an opportunity attack against you, though. 16 to hit you.
No, sir.
Oh, good. Okay.
Come on! Aeolus! We can run for it! That's it.
The smoke continues to flow along the ground. Theolus, run it to you.
Aeolus is going to did I see Siegfried exit that room yet?
You've not, no.
Okay. Aeolus is going to step back, taking the attack of opportunity.
Sure.
And is going to
15, no good. And second attack, 18, even with partial cover.
Yep.
7 points of bludgeoning.
Alright, and Aeolus is going to go into this room and is going to slam the door behind him.
Okay.
And is going to look up to Siegfried and is going to tell him to run. And he's going to head up.
Sounds good.
And that's his turn.
Brings us to Willem.
Alrighty. Willem will take Dunnan's advice and is going to take a step this way, accepting, obviously,
Yep.
that
15 to hit you.
not quite. And we'll take a slash at this friend.
Sure,
I'm
go for
assuming flanked is at advantage.
Yeah, advantage. It's also in the torch is canceling out the shadow blade advantage, but it's still advantage. Yeah. 25.
Nice.
Hey, there's a crit. Go for damage.
Cool. That's gonna hurt.
That it is, and it's a crit.
Nice.
That guy is down and down.
And then we'll use my bonus action to convert my sorcery points into spell slots.
Okay. So what level spell slot are you making? First?
I'm making 2 first, if that's possible.
Yeah, go ahead and drop the ability in chat. I'm not quite up to date on that one. And then you still have movement that you'd like that you can spend if you'd like.
Oh, it's 1, it looks like. That's the other way around, but you know.
Well, yeah, there should be something. There we go.
Transform into 1 spell slot as bonus action on your turn. So for every spell slot that you want to create, it costs you a bonus action. So you can start by making 1.
Yep.
Because it's what, 2 sorcery points to make a first level?
1, 3 for second level.
Ah.
Oh no, 2. I apologize. So I would have only been able to make 1 regardless.
Okay. You still have 1 sorcery point then. Alright, Siegfried rushes past. And Siegfried's... he's going to... frostbite the one to the left of Dunnan. Which... What is Siegfried's spell save TC? 13. Damn. Okay. It passes. It got a 14. Pelarast is moving back and sort of checking on you, Willum. You okay? Like, sort of looking you over. And she's going to try to misfortune the one next to Dunnan. She cannot roll damage. What? That's 3 times in a row.
It is getting a theme.
Does
It's
fail.
becoming a theme.
So that's takes 1 damage and disadvantage on its next attack roll. As we come around to the zombies who continue to flow outwards. 1 sec. This one is trying to batter and scrape at the door. Continuing to push outwards to try to get to you, Dunnan, and have some delicious dwarf for dinner.
It is a rumor.
So we have 2 attacks at advantage. I'll take care of them first. Sorry, one of them's canceled out because of misfortune. So that's actually a 14 to hit on the first.
Oh,
Second is an 18.
that's my AC.
Alright, 5 points of bludgeoning base.
2.
So 2. And then 3 regular attacks. 17, 21, and 11.
21.
21, so it's 7 reduced to 4. That's all their attacks. Done. Around to you.
Well, same again. You're not getting a piece of me. And pushing the one to the north.
Pushing? Okay.
Yeah. Pushing it out of the way. With disadvantage.
As they're sort of flailing and trying to get in at you, part of its form is sort of locked into this like throng trying to attack you. Got a 19 on that check. It's not going anywhere.
Looking a little bit dire here. That's it.
Alright. 1, 2, 3. As the gas continues to proceed, Aeolus, around to you. It starts filling in underneath the door to this room.
That's what I expected. I'm going to activate my Crimson Right. And the Aeolus is going to step up and is just going to try to clear room
Okay.
and cause as much ruckus as he can.
Sure, go for it. So that's attack roll on the one in front of you. 14 hits, 14 points of damage. Very good. That one is starting to like look pretty bad. Still held together by random sinew and tendons and scraps of flesh, but doesn't look great. Anything else,
Alright.
Aeolus? That's bonus movement action, right?
Bonus action. Aeolus is going to...
I believe your
Try-
bonus action is activating your right, correct?
Yes. Aeolus is just going to try to scream out and call the attention of the 3 that he sees.
Oh, the zombies? Sure.
Yeah, and is going to take a step back.
No, one of them is definitely making an opportunity attack against you. 20 to hit.
Yep.
7 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right.
As we come around to Willum.
Well, I'm gonna target this one with Grasp of the Void.
That's a dex save. No, failed. Got a 10. 10 points of necrotic damage. It's going to force an undead fortitude check. Does not pass. That one is just dragged down to the ground. And as it does, it just crunches against the stone. Because it cannot pass through stone like shadows can.
By the way, I edited my spell slot thing. Once I looked at it, it's better to make a second rather than a first, if that's fine.
Got it. Okay. Oh, like converted because you had 3 points. Convert all 3 to a second. Got it. All right. Anything else, Willem? Staying put where you are.
But
Siegfried. Olis, you're gonna get trapped in there. Hurry up. He's gonna be forced to move forward. And he's gonna throw a healing word to you.
Yep.
6 healing. Great roll.
Nice.
And he's also gonna give you the chalice. 16 total. And then, because you moved back, he has to take an opportunity attack to move away. 15 does hit him. He takes 3 points of bludgeoning damage. That brings us to Hellerast, who she's going to hold a spell, and she's going to yell, "Dunnan, move away from all of them now!" And she's going to hold that.
I'm trying.
As we come to the zombies, they file in and repeat the attacks. 2 advantage. 21 hits you for 5 points, reduced to 2. And then 3 regular. 19 hits you for 3, reduced to 1.
Yes.
And then that brings us to you, Dun.
I just imagine the better onto me.
Yeah, they're leaving scrapes into your skin. They're trying to bite onto your armor instead of getting anywhere with it. Like, you feel yourself bruising, getting scraped up. It's hurting.
Does any one of them look hurt?
The one to your north looks to be in the worst shape.
Okay, I'm going to hit that one.
Sure, go for it.
If not pushing, then by force. I'm gonna split you open.
12 hits. It's 13 points of damage. Any smite or anything on there, or just
No.
as is? All right.
As is.
Still
No more
forcing-
slots.
Just barely forced this check, and that actually burns that one down. Failed
Perfect.
the fortitude check. That opens up a gap for you if you wanted to try to
Yeah.
break for it.
I'll move and take the opportunity attacks.
Yep, 3 of them. 6, 16, 7, no good.
No.
Taking the 4th one as you continue.
No, I'm stand my ground. Come on, Aeolus!
Alright, and the one that was here to the corner that you had partial cover did not hit either. That triggers Hellerast, who forces all of them to dex save against Fairy Fire. 3, 4, 5, except the bottom. Let's see. 14 passes, I believe, against Hellerast. Yeah, 14. So the closest one passes. She spent 2 first level spells. And then 0, 1, -1, and a 10. So only the closest one succeeded. And the far one was not in the area. So we'll just use any old symbol. So all of the far ones is advantage on the attacks against them. And the smoke continues. Brings us to Aeolus, firstly.
Okay.
The smoke is coiling around your ankles now. Beginning of your round, you take 4 points of acid damage.
Nice.
And then it's your turn. What will it be?
Not prepared for that. Aeolus is going to just run at this zombie and is going to try to just shoulder check it into the wall.
Sure. Go ahead and make me a athletics check to shove it. Ooh, that passes. You beat its 10. As it gets shoved backwards, you get to move into its space, 10 feet of your movement.
All right. And I am going to run up. So it's 15, and then I'm going to
One
grab.
slam attack as an opportunity. Does not hit you with a 9.
All right, and I'm gonna grab Tanin, and I'm gonna turn to him and yell, "Let's go!" I'm going to pull him with me, so
Okay.
that he is pulled away from the creature.
So it's 5, 10 to get you there. So you have 20 feet of movement, and then 5 more feet. Dunnan, do you allow yourself to be pulled?
It's forced movement, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right, so you get 5 feet away. That brings us to Willum. Will it be Willum?
Sorry, I forgot I was muted. I'm going to throw Arctic Chill right here.
Ooh, nice. Okay. That's a 5-foot radius. Alright. Seer, center of the point you choose within range. Alright. So you could 5-foot radius. So that would be a 2x2 area would be what you could affect in theory, because that would be something like this. So you'd pick an apex for a spell like that. So you could affect
Perfect.
all 3 of them if you wanted to.
Yep, works for me.
All right. So that's 3 con saves. So top, left, right.
They all made it, didn't they?
Oh no! Natural 1, natural 1, natural 1.
Oh, wow.
I've never seen that before. Oh my god! Hold on. I'll put it in chat. Look at that. Ridiculous. And 2 of them would have crit on like advantage or something like that.
Beautiful.
Insane. All right.
Never seen that.
What an eyesight.
Go ahead and give me 3d6 damage for each of them, please. They
popped
are
up
immune
right
to
here.
exhaustion, though.
Yeah, it popped up there. It was 11.
Oh,
Along
did-
with the spell.
higher
Yep.
up, gotcha. 11 points of cold. Damn. What were those saves? Rolling a lot of 1s tonight. All right,
Especially
well,
that plus 3 looks like they had. And
Yeah.
it's dicey.
As they sort of are flecked in this frost, and you see them have this like bluish purple pallor take over on their skin. Anything else? Great roll.
No, chill there.
Okay. Brings us to Siegfried.
Would I be able to like shout something as a free action, or
You could if you wanted to.
yeah? I would just shout, "Find something to bar the door! Anything!"
Huh? Oh, okay. So he, instead of healing Aeolus, which is what he was gonna do, Aeolus is probably fine. Is instead going to grab one of the beds and start dragging it over, and that's his turn. Hellerast is going to take advantage of her fairy fire and try to. Oh, she doesn't have attack rolls. Right. She's gonna try to sapping sting the creature closest to you, Dunnan, which is a con save. Because apparently
Look, it's
wisdom.
not a 1.
I know, right? Fails the save, so it takes 3 points of necrotic damage and falls prone. Zombies, so half movement. It's crawling towards you, Dunnan, as it stands up, but it doesn't get sort of around the group of you. This one's sort of finally figured out what's going on. Alright, so we have 1 attack on Aeolus. She's no longer prone. 22 to hit you, Aeolus.
Yep.
4 points of bludgeoning. And then 2 attacks on Dunnan. 12 and 17.
No, sir.
Alright. None of the attacks, the rest of the attacks can get close enough as we come around to Dunnan. With the smoke continuing to flow along the ground.
Yeah. Would do the same as Aeolus did, just drag him into the room.
Okay. There's gonna be 3
And-
opportunity attacks against you.
Yeah.
18, 9, and 18.
Yeah, 2 18s hit.
Alright, first one's 3 reduced to 1, second is 7 reduced to 4, so 5 points total.
And then would just slam shut the door and press against it as hard as I can.
You need to move another 5 feet deep
Oh, okay.
to drag Aeolus in. And,
Yeah.
you slam the one door closed.
Bring the beds! Whatever you can find!
And Aeolus, you get dragged in. Dunnan gets closer, so that way he can close the one door. That brings us to Aeolus in a moment. First, we have smoke. And 15. As it's rushing towards you, it goes around the feet of these zombies, seemingly not affecting them.
Of course.
And as it's about to impact, you're trying to grab the door, Aeolus, to try to slam it in time. It washes towards the door and then starts sinking into a crack in the ground right in front of the door, not filling into the room. It's your turn, Aeolus.
Aeolus is going to hook to Dunnan and is going to move off to the side. We either take them out or they continue to bash. If we pinch them here, only one can fit.
Yes, would stream in. Didn't you see that cloud?
It won't move in to the room. We're fine.
Inside
And-
check.
Aeolus will prep an attack.
Okay. So you're holding an attack for the first zombie that comes between the two of you? Brings us to Willum.
Great. Willem will step forward and also prep an attack for any zombie that steps into.
Sounds good. With
That's
the
where-
Shadow Blade?
Yep.
Noted. Siegfried is sort of half holding the bed frame, and you see the cot mattress has sort of been tossed aside. The bed frame is sort of rickety. Doesn't look very great. I guess we're not doing that. And man, which one of these are hurt? He's gonna send a healing word to. No, he's gonna cure wounds Dunnan. Sorry, I'm spending your spells, Siegfried. He's gonna cure wounds Dunnan for 4. And then he's
Yep,
gonna
appreciate
send the chalice to Aeolus.
Oops. Right.
For 6 to Aeolus. And then he's gonna set up opposite here, knowing that they sort of spill inwards to try to funnel them. Helarast is going to, since Aeolus has her weapon, she's going to cast a Sapping Sting again to try to down the front one. And Hobblum crit 23 on the save. Does not succeed. Come around to the zombies. 3, 4. There's a series of attacks against it. Alright. Ah, gotcha. She had borrowed yours. My mistake. 21 hits. So this is the first one. That's going to force a Fortitude save. One moment. 13 does not pass. First one goes down to your spear, Aeolus. Dunnan, you did not have a held action. You slammed the door. Willum, you have a held action. As the second one files in, Aeolus drops the first. 17 hits, go for damage. $14 points. That'll force a fortitude save. DC would be 19, does not pass. That one goes down. This one had 5 more feet of movement as they are continuing to try to spill him. One of them is slamming against the door that you shut Dunnan as we come around. One of them has two of them have attacks, my apologies. One on Aeolus and one at partial cover against Dunnan. Natural 1 against you, Aeolus. No good.
Woohoo!
And then a 20 total to hit you, Dunnan. You have a +2 to your AC.
That's 20 exactly.
20 to exactly. That's going to be 7 reduced to 4. As the smoke continues to flow, it does not flow into the room. And it seems like it is being vented away by a gap to prevent what it seems to be sleeping quarters from being flooded by this trap.
Did you skip my turn?
Oh, did I? My mistake.
No.
There we go.
Just
go ahead, Dunnan.
hit the one in front of us.
Yeah, go ahead. It's very fired, it's flanked, you have all the advantage in the world.
Seems you have right, Aeolus. The gas is not coming in.
14 hits. That's 14 points of damage. Not enough to force a fortitude save on that one, but you sort of bisect one of its arms and it just sort of drops to the ground, twitches a few times, and then stops moving.
I've had enough zombie for a day.
Brings us to now it's Aeolus.
Aeolus is going to drop his shield and use the great spear with both hands.
Okay, go for it. Hey, 20 hits. That's 8 points of damage. Just enough to force a fortitude save. DC 13 does pass. That thing is still standing, even though you sort of rammed your spear through its head, and there's just this spear-shaped hole in the center of its forehead. It's just sort of looking around as you sort of yank the spear back.
And that's it.
Come on, Willum. Uh, 24 hits, 14 points of psychic. That's brutal. That's a DC 19 save. Does not pass. That thing goes down as they're just spilling into this sort of death funnel that the group of you have created. Anything else, Willem?
That's it.
Siegfried is going to... Siegfried carry weapons?
Siegfried should have his great spear on him.
That he does. Siegfried's going to hold a great spear attack. Siegfried has a shield, so Siegfried is doing this one-handed. Hellerast is going to attempt a misfortune, seeing that the group of yours... Hey, look at it, not a 1.
Whoa.
So wisdom save. No, fails with a 4. 4 points of psychic damage. Around to the zombies. Rushing in. Siegfried makes a spear attack. 6 does not. Sorry, it does hit because, or likely hits because of advantage. Does hit for 4 points of damage. Front one is injured but still not down. As they sort of spill in, one of them is attacking you, Willum, as it sort of rushes in. Willum, that is a 20 to hit you.
Yep, that does it.
4 points of bludgeoning damage. I need a Constitution save, please. Other one's attacking you, Dunnan. 6 to get you. Alright. You maintain focus on your Shadow Blade. And that's the zombies are round and done.
Which one does look hurt?
The
The
one
one
in front
in-
looks
north.
pretty darn bad.
Yeah,
And that's the one
gonna-
that's fairy fired.
Gonna try to finish that one off.
Sure, go for it. Advantage on the attack. Ooh. Thanks
Jesus.
to the advantage you do.
Yeah,
Oh
boy.
my god.
That forces a save. Natural one again on the save. Yeah, that one goes down.
I can only miss with a 1 because
Yeah.
+6. So,
Yeah.
jeez.
Just the one misses.
Mm.
That advantage gives you a significantly better chance of not missing.
Yeah.
As we come around to Aeolus, I believe. This last one here. 17 points. DC 23. He can technically pass the save. He can't pass the save. The last one is shredded in your little meat grinder here. That's going to take the group of you out of initiative.
That was more than a warm-up. Boy.
I suggest we take a breather, but first, can we like push all of this out here? I don't want to smell
Yeah.
this.
Nah. Just, that's too much limbs and rotted flesh.
Shove all the bodies into a haphazard pile outside.
Yeah,
Yep.
just in front of the door. And then probably let's bar the door with some crates over there. Just to be sure.
Are there like hooks for a slab of wood to lock this door?
Give me a perception check. Okay. So as you take a look around the space, you thought you saw one initially, but as you sort of take a look at it, you realize it's not a hook that's next to the door. It's on the far side of where Dunnan is. It's right next to the door. Looks to be a lever of some sort.
Aeolus will point that out. I suggest we do not pull that. And we'll start to help out with
Yeah, there's no label
Locking
on
the
it or
door.
anything.
Willem would step forward and write on the wall, "Do not pull," and then step back.
There you go.
We are set on pulling the crates to the door.
yeah.
Alright.
Spells end over this time. As you shift all of the crates over. Breathe in heavily. I'd like a perception check from everybody, please. Aeolus. And Dunnan. Nice. No, Aeolus, not. Sorry, Dunnan and Willum. Good rolls, even with disadvantage. The two of you, as you're sort of working in the space, trying to get your bearings and everything, now that the bodies have been removed, this area feels quite comfortable. The temperature's cool but not cold. And now that the smell of rot has vanished, there's a smell of... It smells like some type of venison stew that's still permeating the area, lingering in the space. You don't notice a source of it. Like the air itself has this sort of scent that's hanging about. It smells quite good, especially you, Willem. I guess you identify it.
So,
Willem,
go ahead.
Did you bring some of that venison I bought? Did you cook it by any chance? I'm smelling some kind of stew.
I didn't cook stew, but and Willem would
You
start
smell it
giving
too,
us-
right?
Yeah. And Willem would start sniffing to see if through his expertise in cooking, how long ago this stew was cooked?
As you sort of get a good whiff of everything, you gather, like in a space like this, you gather there's probably not a lot of airflow. I mean, within the last few hours, you would think. Not days ago. But beyond that, you're not sure.
Somebody was definitely cooking and probably eating just several hours ago. We should probably make sure somebody's watching that door if we're going to be resting.
It's still a little bit sore from that night in the Pinwood. I could go for a nice bed for a change.
I suggest we don't stay here too long. Maybe patch ourselves up. I mean, we've only been awake for
A couple hours.
a few hours.
4
Could
hours
still,
or so.
could still sleep for half an hour.
Just not staying here for an elongated of time.
No, I wasn't suggesting that, but a nice bed for a change, even if it's just for a few minutes.
About this point, the group of you hear the grinding sound of gears once again echoing through the zone. Ching, 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 ching. And done and next to you here, there's a sharp thwack as the wooden lever snaps back to the upwards position.
Oh, looks like that gas is also dispersed. And William, for such a scaredy cat, you should probably go into the back. I mean, this was your second time you triggered something.
Yeah, if you're saying I shouldn't step on things, I agree. I'll let somebody else do it.
Wise choice. Right, let's refresh ourselves. Huh? William, did you bring some of that travel bacon? Could go for
I've
some.
got some stew, got some walking bacon, some pocket cheese. We begin setting it all out on the table.
I'm gonna look through the crates to see if there's anything useful in there.
Sure. Give me an investigation check, please. Disadvantage. 14. You do see more dried foodstuffs. This appears to have been broken into, though. There's probably enough still remaining here for still maybe about a month's worth, close to a month's worth of food for maybe 3 to 4 people. Not quite as much food as the other things, but it looks like supplies were moved deeper into this area, you ascertain, based on need.
Okay. I'm gonna grab a couple helpings and just sit down on the edge of one of the beds.
Okay. It's a okay mattress. It's like it's a straw mattress. Well, it feels like it. It's comfortable enough. It's not as quite as good as your bedroll, but like it seems like it's shoddily made.
Okay. And then I guess, are we gonna take or attempt to take a short rest? Is that the plan?
Well, you urged us to not stay for too long, so just a quick break, I thought.
Okay.
When
Short resting. Hellorass will volunteer to keep an eye on the door. Keep listening. So you sit, eat, rest for about an hour. You're not disturbed during that time. About 40 minutes in, there is like a wave of air that sort of washes underneath the space. Doesn't smell, but it smells rotten from likely the bodies piling up outside. But that's it. It's the only thing of note that happens during the time. You can all go ahead and spend some hit dice, use your short rest mechanics.
Is it one roll plus Constitution or
Yes.
all together?
No,
okay.
so every dice that you spend, you get a Constitution modifier bonus on top of.
Okay. So 5.
So you still get to keep the second level spell, Willum. It doesn't go away when you're short.
Okay.
Yeah. Your spell slots, not spell slots. Sorcery comes back on long rest though. So.
Sorry, didn't mean to hit that.
No worries. Siegfried gets his wild shapes back, notably.
Yep.
He doesn't get his star shards back, but that's okay. I don't think he has anything else specific that comes back. No, yeah, just wild shapes. Because land druids that have like the natural recovery effect. Helleras did not conjure her spider. So she doesn't really get anything back on the short rest either. Siegfried will spend 1 hit dice though. He will go back up to full. Alright. Everyone finished their short rest things?
Yes.
Okay. The hour passes. The smell of rot starting to fill the air a little bit. The scent of this elk stew dissipating. Or venison stew, pardon me. Anything else that you need to do in this area?
Aeolus is just going to call Dunnan and Siegfried over. I'm going to open the door. If anything's on the other side, we're hitting it.
Alright. On the count of 3.
1, 2, and Aeolus opens the door.
As you open the door, spilling in towards you is bodies that you piled up there.
Oh god, no, hit the ball! Oh, god.
No, nothing rushes in to attack you. There's a pile of dead bodies there as you through them that have sort of slouched and slid with the oozing fluids.
Oh.
That one was killed. I think that was my initiative tracker.
Aeolus will motion to everyone to be careful and to not step on any floor plates or to be weary of their steps as they make their way out.
Willem is just going to step to the same place Aeolus does.
Hold on, Dunnan. Where did you move to? Your
There.
token just appeared to me. Okay, cool.
There.
Dunnan, as you step here, your foot falls. The
Oh,
pressure plate
God.
underneath you. Clunk. Siegfried and Helleras will call out, "Hey, the lever just moved again," and you see smoke starting to fill and flow down from the other end of the hallway.
Ah, crap. Alright.
You know what? Let's just go.
Let's just go to run for it.
And Willum, you are no longer concentrating on Shadow Blade. There we go.
Just smashing my shoulder against the door in front of me.
Okay. Your shoulder smashes against the door. Door bursts inwards. You gaze before you at a large room with massive 5-foot square columns supporting a vaulted ceiling overhead. 20 feet along the walls, maybe 25 feet in the center. The columns themselves each have a teardrop-shaped piece of glass clutched in an iron coil about 10 feet off the ground on each of their faces. These teardrops contain no recognizable fuel, and yet have a slowly flickering blue flame contained within. The only source of natural light you found in this space thus. To your right as you enter, there's an altar with steps leading up to it. Upon the altar, there's a collection of swirling shapes in smoke, leaping and clawing up out of the space, shadowy, smoky forms that give the surface of this altar an appearance like a pool of fish in a feeding frenzy. As you file into the space and sort of start to look around, gazing, stepping from behind one of the columns, there is a male half-elf holding a great sword at their side. As they sort of look at you and scowl for a moment, they smile. We were told that you'd be coming.
Hey, were you the ones that burned down my house?
Sort of crouches into a ready stance.
Alos will
Takes
do the
his
same.
He takes his second hand, places it upon the flat of the blade of the greatsword, and spins the blade along its axis in his hand for a moment, letting a thin trail of blood coat the edge of the blade, which erupts into flames. We'll pick up there next session.
So we found one half-elf.
He's more than a half-elf. Great.
Oh, more than a half elf? I don't know what you're talking about. Clearly, he's just a half elf.
Yeah. Just a half-elf. Is he gonna cloud strife this fucking great sword? Oh look, he can do flip. Ah, fuck. He's fast.
What? He has the Buster Sword.
Yeah.
There's a visual of the room, also.
Oh, cool.
Ignore the number 8. That's my map labeling. Alright.
8 times the guy.
Yeah.
8 of them. Yes, he
8 of
turns
them,
in
yeah.
8 copies.
He is